Welcome to Dream Small. I'm Jason.
And I'm Whitney.
In a world challenging you to chase big, we dare you to dream small.
We're a family of 8 who's fostered, adopted, and stumbled our way through learning that small, everyday choices can change lives.
Join us as we share stories and encouragement to help you live out your purpose. Let's talk garage sales.
Okay.
You put a lot of work into one this week. You were most prepared I've ever seen you for a garage sale.
Yeah, well, I also have to give credit where credit is due. Lainey was really excited about this garage sale, so she helped out a ton.
You guys were ready.
We were ready. We were ready to roll. I even advertised it and shared on all the social media pages around the neighborhoods, like, hey, yard sale happening in our neighborhood.
Only to find out
Dun, dun, dun.
for the first time we've lived in this house 8 years, 9 years.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood garage sale had always been Father's Day weekend because who cares about Father's Day? Well, this year they did, and they moved it to next weekend despite Whitney and Delaney's strong efforts to get it ready to go.
We tried real good.
I mean, you made good money selling some stuff you'll never use again.
I did, but it wasn't through the garage sale.
No, well, that's details that we don't necessarily need to talk about. The kids made a grand total of, I think, $53.
And then when you subtract everything I spent to prepare for their lemonade and cookie stand,
we're down $20. Go us.
Isn't that how the way it always is, though?
And,
hey, Mom, let's have a lemonade stand. Okay, well, let's make a list of everything you need, and then who's going to buy it?
Whitney's much nicer than me. I tell the kids, no, I'm not doing it. She'll say yes. The best part is we're like, okay, cool. We're set up. We made a little money last week. Everything's still on the tables in our garage. We'll just rock with the garage sale next weekend.
When it is in our neighborhood. But Mom's out of town.
Whitney's getting a weekend away with her sis and mom, and I will be home with 6 kids and doing a garage sale. So that should be fun. Probably more to come to that in a future episode.
But you know what? They had a great practice run yesterday. So, yeah, they'll be great for this weekend.
Yes, their focus is top notch. We know that. Yeah, they are always.
It'll be so good.
Can't wait.
Remember old Hank?
Hank,
whom we love, who was on fire yet again.
Well, he was not on fire. So we got Hank. He's
Hank's the old man van.
He's 12 years old, but he had super low miles because he was at the corporate of the company we bought it from. And these vans, it's an NV 3500 Nissan, and they're supposed to be just amazing vans. And so far, so good. Problem was the rear brake calipers got a little dicey for Whit. A couple times she drove it. It got a little hot and smelly and a little smoky, but we got that fixed.
A little bit, he says.
I was never there. The times I drove it, it has never happened. So you could be making it all up as far as I know.
Oh no, I have 6 kids who will vouch for it because our fun trip to the playground the other morning turned into a super fun adventure in a Ford dealer lot, hanging out in the Panera outdoor patio while we waited for a rescue vehicle.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the rescue vehicle.
I was like, sorry, Ford dealers. I'm sorry about the smoking van in your lot.
That's good. It's all good. Tonight.
Why we're really here
after you get in a snip. So we just want to be very clear. If we ever come across like we have it all together.
We don't.
We're not even sniffing having it all together. I promise. So.
Tonight, and, sorry, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Another disclaimer. What we share on the Dream Small podcast are our opinions and our experiences. It's not a cumulative whole. We might share things that other friends and acquaintances have shared with us, but that is not to say it's the only sole experience of foster care. So please just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I would hope you guys would understand that. But yeah, we're definitely not the voice piece the mouthpiece for all foster parents all over the world. We're not. It's our experience we're sharing with you and some of our close friends like Whitney shared. We are talking about objections and hesitations to foster care.
I feel like if you were to take a moment wherever you are right now listening to this, whether or not you feel called to foster or not, you could probably roll off multiple objections as to why you shouldn't. So we're going to cover, this might end up being 2 different episodes depending on how chatty we get, but we've come up with a lot of different objections that we're going to be covering today. And we've had the help of some other fellow foster parents as well, which has been great.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this too. We're going to have humor mixed in because you have to have humor. So bear with us, but we'll also be serious about it.
So you've thought about fostering or adoption, maybe. Maybe you even Googled it a few times. Perhaps you've whispered it to your spouse across a laundry pile, or maybe at church after someone spoke on it or planted a seed. But then the what ifs hit. You know, those fears, the concerns, the voice in your head that sounds oddly like your Aunt Karen warning you that those kids come with baggage. Well, today we're going to unpack the top 15 concerns that make people hesitate. And we'll do it with a little bit of honesty, hope, and hopefully a little bit of humor. Because sometimes the only thing bigger than fear is the pile of laundry you'll have if you say yes.
And let's be honest, none of us really care for Aunt Karen. Let's be honest.
Or laundry.
Dude, laundry. Okay. Number 1, and this is probably the one people cite the most as to why they don't get involved with foster care. And that is, what if it's hard on my biological kids?
What do you say to that, Jason?
Yeah, it's going to be challenging. I mean, it's hard. Kids think the world revolves around them. And unfortunately, in our current culture, many parents also live their lives like the world revolves around their kids. They're in a rec sport, a travel sport, an all-star sport, a instrument, a underwater basket weaving club. I don't know all the clubs all these kids in, but yeah, a lot of kids think the world revolves around them, and bringing in a foster kiddo will be a challenge for them.
So, to be completely honest with you, Jason and I decided when we first stepped into the world of fostering that it was our call to foster and not necessarily our children. So, we did say from the beginning that if a foster child or a placement negatively impacted our children, we would pause, pump the brakes, and discuss if it was the right move for us at that moment. And we have had times when we have had to do that. But like Jason said, a lot of our culture and the world treats children as if the world revolves around them and that they're the center of it. And we believe very strongly that children have to know that they're not. That's not to say we're perfect, because our children, like any person, still struggles with egocentric thoughts and behaviors, right? So it's something that we're continually working on. But I can say without a doubt that our kids know that they have it really good and that they have been exposed to really hard. And we've never lied to them about a situation. When they ask questions, we answer them as best as we can for their age. That's appropriate. But because of that, and because of that open conversation, they've known from an early age what addiction and what abuse and what neglect can do to children and families.
Whitney and I set a rule that if we ever take in a foster placement and it negatively impacts our kids, we would move along with that. And by negatively impact, I don't mean they have to share mommy and daddy. I mean a big deal. And we've stuck to that throughout our time as foster parents.
And we actually have had that situation occur. We have had to interrupt placement because, long story short, one of our family members would trigger one of our placements into really scary, destructive behaviors to the point where we thought that this placement was going to try to really physically harm one of the other kids in our home.
I think that covers number 1. What about my bio kids? Yeah, they're going to be exposed to some things. They're going to have their hearts broken when kids go home.
Yeah.
But I'm obviously biased, as is Whitney. But I can tell you our bio kids are the 2 most
incredible humans.
Insightful, sincere.
Empathetic.
I mean, the other day, Delaney was making bracelets for this awesome garage sale, and she decided to make one for one of our foster kiddos, and that foster kiddo's biological mom, because that foster kiddo was going on a visit that day. So Delaney, on her own, decided, hey, I'm going to make a bracelet for foster kiddo and foster kiddo's biological mom.
Yeah, which was really sweet. And man, it was a good reminder for me because some people are really hard to love. And this person is one of them. And my 11-year-old daughter reminded me that those people that are hard to love are the ones that we need to really pour our energy into even more.
Amen. Yeah, it was fun to learn from your kid.
It is.
All right, number 2. So I would think these first 2 are the 2 big hesitations Whitney and I had at the beginning of our foster journey. Wouldn't you say these were our 2 that kind of caused us to not get going as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I think so. To generalize it. Yeah.
Yeah, so number 2, this, if you're being honest with when you're considering foster care, this is the one that really scares people. And that is, I really like my life the way it is right now, and I really don't want to have to sacrifice for a foster kid.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, I agree. Like we've shared already on the podcast, we have moments and we have days where Jason and I will look at each other and we're like, man, life could be so easy right now. But you know what? The world promotes comfort. The Bible does not. We are not called to live comfortable lives. We are called to live sacrificial lives, lives where we take up our cross every single day. And the world of foster care allows that opportunity a lot.
Yes. We don't get an opportunity to check out and disappear. Thankfully, we'll go over this at some point. We do get respite, and there are people in place, and when we need a break or a vacation, that can provide respite for us. But I mean, some of the examples throughout our foster journey were small things. Really, this bothered you more than me, just because you're a mama bear, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget the first one. It was 5 years ago now. She went down to our friends at a community pool with our little. She's our.
This still makes me cry. Yeah.
Our oldest. She's our oldest adoptive daughter. She was a foster kiddo at the time, and she had her first year of life was pretty much stay alive. She had really some health struggles, and Whitney was tending to her, and our scaredy cat 5-year-old Delaney mustered up the courage and jumped off the diving board for the first time, and Whitney missed it. And I remember how upset you were that you missed that moment.
Yeah, I remember driving home, calling you on the phone. You were at work, and I was crying because I was so sad that I missed it. And poor Delaney's in the back seat, like sad that I'm sad. And I'm like, no, honey, it's not your fault. I just really wish I could have seen it. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm just so sad I missed it.
One of her birthdays, when we all dressed up, we had a kiddo in the hospital.
That actually happened 3 years in a row on Delaney's birthday that we missed it, that I was in the hospital with a child.
Yeah, so, yeah, it impacts your kids. Yes, it disrupts your life. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. It is disruptive. It's changing. But like what Whitney just said, we are called to live lives of sacrifice.
And you know what, though? I look back, and as hard as some of those seasons were, those were when God showed up the most. Those were when our community and our friends stepped up. I remember one of Delaney's birthdays, we were on, I think, day, 18 of 23 in the hospital. And I had not stepped.
Just to be clear, day 18 of 23 straight.
I had not stepped outside of that hospital for 2 weeks straight. I had not seen the sunshine.
And just so you guys don't yell at me and be like, hey, give your wife a break. I tried. She said, I'm not leaving. So just before I catch it.
Good point.
I tried.
He's right. He did. No, that mama bear kicks in, and it doesn't matter if I didn't birth those babies. They need someone with them too. The hospital, I know. Like,
how many hours of sleep do you think we've missed out on?
How many diapers have we changed? Ew. We're going on 12 years of diapers straight. Multiple kids. I don't think we've had just one kid in diapers since Lainey was a baby.
we hit a tiny window at one point when Benny was potty trained. At one point, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, there's only one. We're getting close for now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Today.
We currently have 2.5 in diapers. So, okay, Jason, I'll believe you when it happens.
I'm the optimistic one.
Anyway, back to day 18 of 23 in the hospital. It was Lainey's birthday party, and I desperately wanted to go. 2 of my best friends went to the hospital, sat with they knew I did not want her there alone also. I mean, she was a baby. They went to the hospital and sat there for me for hours, so I was able to go to Lainey's birthday party and shower, and then I went right back to the hospital that night, but I got to be there, so.
You get very creative with the things you have to juggle with some of the foster kiddos you get in. We've had some pretty unique kids and some unique medical challenges, and we've done pretty good overall, I think, with that. Okay, now we get to some ones that we didn't personally struggle with when we said yes and we were contemplating being foster parents, but a lot of them are the ones people share with us when we tell them they're our foster parents. They go, oh, I could never do that because whatever.
Yeah, this one, I can honestly say it never occurred to me. But so many people ask me this, and it's what if I get too attached?
So my buddy Eric and I, he's actually me and Whitney, his wife and him are our foster parent mentors, I would call them. They've fostered over 40 kids. They're awesome.
Hey, Heidi.
Hey, Eric.
Okay. What's up?
Me and him share the sentiment when people say, yeah, what if you get too attached? Our response is typically, we don't have hearts. We don't get attached. It's really that easy, right? Yeah, you are going to get attached. That's the point.
I mean, yeah. And you know what? When you stop and think about it, no offense here, okay? I mean this with all due respect. But what a selfish thing to say.
Yeah, be honest. That is super selfish. You're dealing with kids that have been through awful things, and you're worried about being sad if they get to go home.
Children need attachment more than we need to save ourselves from the heartache. If you stop and think about it, I mean, so many of the children who have come through our front door didn't know attachment. They did not know a healthy bond with one single person. So I would argue, until I'm blue in the face, that I can handle the heartbreak should they go home or go somewhere else way more than they can handle that heartbreak if they never get to experience attachment. Because you know what that does if they don't experience attachment? That impacts them forever. Our brains are wired for attachment. And I can go on and on about this, but I won't. But please stop and really evaluate your motives here, because yes, you will get attached. And yeah, it might hurt like hell, but it's worth it. And I would argue that to anyone. It is absolutely worth it. Those children are worth it.
They're worth it. Love costs all the time, right? No matter where, who, what you love, there is a risk with it. If you get your heart broken when a kid goes home or leaves, that means you deeply loved that kid while they were in your home. And that's the entire point.
Our second placement, how old was baby Z? A week old, maybe? She was like a newborn. Baby. Yeah, she was like a newborn, number 2. She was only with us for a week. But I think if you've been a parent to a young infant, you know how quickly you can become attached to them because they are fully dependent on you. This baby was with us only for a week. Or maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, but it was short. And she went to another family member. It was a good situation. However, that broke my heart. I remember Jason took the rest of our kids out of the house, and I spent that evening in the bathtub sobbing because it broke my heart. Did I learn from it? Did I say yes again? Absolutely. Do I still think about her and pray for her? Yeah. And that's okay. I got to love that baby when no one else was available to. And that is something I will never regret or take for granted.
She was a sweet little thing.
She was a little pudgy thing.
She was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If your reason for not doing foster care is I'll get too attached, let's sit down and have a conversation because I think you're looking at this wrong, if I'm being very honest. You're looking at this wrong. Anything else to say about that? I think we've covered that pretty thoroughly.
I'm sorry if I was harsh.
No, we do this from love. We're not doing this from judgment or anything. We're doing this from love because we need more foster parents. We need more humans who love children to get involved in this world. So
Yeah, and we're passionate about the need for it because, man, there is a need. Big time.
big need. That was it, right, for that one?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
good.
let's move along. What if the child has trauma I can't handle? Yeah.
Guess what?
If a kid is going into foster care, there's a good chance they've been through some stuff that you're not going to be equipped to handle.
No, even beyond that, every child going in the foster care system, whether they're being placed from birth or whether they're 10 years old, they're coming to you with trauma. There is trauma that happens in the womb. There is trauma that happens during delivery. There is trauma that happens in those first months. There is trauma. I guarantee it. Whether or not you're equipped, you'll learn as you go.
I mean, I can tell you as a dad, I probably started my daddom as rub some tussin on it, put some dirt on it, move on, you're fine. And along the way, I have learned it's not quite that simple for a lot of the kiddos you experience from foster care because their brains just aren't formed correctly because guess what? They were never healthily attached to an adult that is required for a brain to develop properly.
Mm-hmm.
And we've taken some classes, some trainings, and have become trauma informed, and it has made a world of difference.
There's a lot of great reading materials I can recommend. The two that come to mind right away, The Body Keeps the Score. I would highly recommend that. And also What Happened to You. I would highly recommend both of those because, yeah.
They have therapists. There are therapists in the world I had never heard of before in my life until getting involved with foster care.
All different kinds.
Yeah, there's play therapists, there's music therapists, there's
recreational therapists.
I know I'm dumb. I'm a state school guy. But I never
from Ohio.
Go Buckeyes. I never knew that all these different type of therapists exist. Yeah, you're going to have a kid come in your home. I mean, not our foster kiddo, our oldest adoptive kiddo, she came to us at 9 weeks old, and we will be battling the things she went through that first during while she was in utero in her first 9 weeks of life forever.
Yeah, it's not easy.
All right, have we talked enough about trauma kids have?
I mean, I think we dabbled enough. Yeah.
I think that's a fair thing to be concerned about. And just remember, God isn't calling you to foster care because of how awesome you are. He's calling you to foster care because of how awesome He is. Simply be obedient, and He will help you overcome this stuff.
And that's a great segue into our next objection. What if I'm not qualified?
For all of my Bible scholars that are listening, can you name one human from the Bible that was called to something that we would categorize as qualified?
David.
The dude who slept with one of the soldiers' wives and tried to get that dude killed?
I mean, he killed Goliath with a stone.
Yeah, but he did that.
I know. I'm just looking at the positives here.
I mean, yeah, they said he was after God's own heart, right? So, but that's the point. That's the point, right? Like,
right.
You don't have to be perfect to be a foster parent, thankfully.
Because
we would not be able to be foster parents if perfection was the standard.
No, that's what I was telling one of our kids that the other day. Like, we don't expect you to be perfect. We're not perfect. But we have to own our mistakes. That was the lesson we were talking about.
You're not qualified. None of us are. I mean, I would say it's very much like when you become a quote unquote, well, not quote unquote, I was going to say quote unquote normal parent. When you become a biological parent for the first time, you're never ready. You're not qualified. You're getting entrusted with a human life you have no idea what to do with.
I remember when we first took Delaney home and I was like,
that's it?
What are we doing?
That's it? There's no manual? Okay.
Go slower. You're going too fast.
Yeah. So, you're not qualified. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You're not qualified.
Neither are we.
Neither are we. Neither are the other awesome and incredible, amazing adoptive and foster parents we've been lucky enough to call friends over the years.
Yeah.
So this kind of connects to the first one, but this will actually be our last one for tonight because we're this is going to be longer than I thought it would be. So this will be our last one for this episode.
Whitney was right again.
I didn't say you weren't going to be right. What if I fall in love with the child and they go back?
Good. That's good. The plan is reunification when it's right. Now, unfortunately, the system sometimes pushes for that when it's not right. But if you fall in love with the child and best case scenario, they reunify, that's good. And I'd say hopefully you planted seeds and hopefully throughout the time that they were placed with you, you were able to love on those parents and create a relationship with them. Because you know what that means? It means you get to have a front row seat to a potentially amazing redemption story.
If you fall in love with a kid and they go home to a healthy home that's ready for them, the plan worked exactly as intended.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard. It really stinks when you have a kiddo go home who you love deeply. It's hard, but it's worth it. The kid's worth it. The bio parents who had to get straight, whatever it is they had to get straight, they're worth it. It's worth it.
And this might sound really callous, and I don't mean it to. But chances are, the moment they go home and that heart of yours is breaking open, your phone's going to ring. And if you're ready for it, you can get another child.
Yeah, the phone won't wait.
Sometimes, some people do. They choose to kind of take a break and breathe and get back to, your core family. Other people just jump right in because they find healing in serving and continuing to serve and kind of getting right back on the roller coaster, right? So there's not a right or wrong way to do it. We've done both. But yeah, I mean, if you fall in love with the child and they reunify and it's for the best, that's a good thing.
You've won. You were part of an incredible story.
Yeah.
That's the point. Well, that will wrap up version 1 of this.
I love it.
Next week, we'll bring you version 2. Any fun or clever, wise words to part the people with?
I've had some really great conversations this week. All of them really just encouraged me and lifted me up. One was a conversation with a gentleman that, I don't know, working for the insurance company of one of our kiddos. And he called me to kind of just verify some information. And he just lavished me in compliments for being a foster parent and really saw what we do and really vocalized appreciation for it. And then another listener called me in tears saying that how much the show and the episode she listened to meant to her. And she was a former foster youth. And she said, part of your show broke me and another part of it healed me. And those little conversations meant more than I could ever express. So I would challenge you this week just to call someone and speak life into them. Let them feel seen. Let them feel encouraged. Whoever God puts on your heart, whoever comes to your mind, pick up the phone and give them a quick phone call.
Curious if any of you know this. I looked it up because I did not know this, but I wanted to find out. The phrase, do not be afraid, or a similar variant to that, occurs in the Bible roughly.
I know.
What is it?
365 times.
365 times. The verse I'm going to share with you now is Isaiah 41:10. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. If God calls us to it, he will see us through it. He'll empower us to do it. If God is calling us to it, he's already factored in our inadequacy and our stupidity.
Amen to that. All right, you guys, until next time, dream small. Thanks so much for listening. We are grateful for your support. If you enjoyed this episode, would you please take a moment to follow or subscribe to the podcast? And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, a quick rating or review goes a long way in helping others find the show. And hey, if someone came to mind while you were listening, would you please share this episode with them? Thanks again, and remember, dream small.